So this video will be about Rainbow Six Siege's co-op experience and my opinions on it. Rainbow Six Siege is one of my favorite shooters. I like how headshots are always an insta-kill, and I love how different operators bring their own unique gadgets to the team. But what I don't like is the large hole that seems to be in its co-op. Rainbow Six Siege's co-op, as it currently stands, is as follows. You invite members to your party, or select the online co-op option in Training Grounds. You can also select Lone Wolf if you have no one in your party. Then you're thrown into a match based on your settings. By default, it's all the maps and all the game modes. You are then given your choice of location and operator, and you're off. There are 3 difficulties and 4 game modes, and the game modes are as follows. In this game mode, your only objective is to kill. Basically, just kill all the hostiles in the area. As soon as you've done that, your mission is complete, and you can pat yourself on the back. This is probably best for when you just want to fully clear a building and not have to worry about things like civilian casualties. In Extract Hostage, you've got to locate the hostage and then escort them to the extraction point that will be marked by a lit flare. The flare can be seen before you even locate the hostage, and when you grab the hostage, enemies will spawn around the extraction zone. So you'll have to fight your way through them and keep the hostage safe in the extraction zone for just a few seconds. In this game mode, I think that the drone really shines the most, allowing you to locate the hostage and take swift action to get them to safety before the rest of the AI even knows what happened. In Disarm the Bomb, there are 2 different devices, and when you locate them, you can start the defusing process. In order to do that, you will need to use the diffuser on them, and there will be only 1 diffuser, so you'll need to remember who on your team has it. When you start the diffusing process, it starts a 60-second timer, and a wave of enemies will spawn. The enemies will then make their way toward you, as well as some enemies that you have yet to kill throughout the map. When the timer is done, you must pick it up and repeat the process at the other bomb site. In my opinion, it is fun to get the chance to defend while using attacking operators. However, I feel like it would benefit from allowing you to choose either type. This is the only co-op game mode that you get the chance to play your defending operators. You select a room that you want to defend, and then you have a set amount of time between rounds determined by the difficulty that you can spend fortifying and preparing for enemy attackers. There are between 4 to 5 rounds, depending on the difficulty, and the number of enemies increases each round, with the exception of normal, where the first 2 waves both have 8 each. You have 3 different choices of difficulty. There are normal, hard, and realistic. In my own opinion, the difficulties actually make it harder in a good way, by relying on increasing enemy numbers, accuracy, as well as damage. When playing on either hard or realistic, the AI will attempt to shoot through walls and attempt to flank you to make the increase in difficulty force you and your team to think carefully about each action you take. Overall, I think they did this in a very good way. The damage increases are less of a way to make the AI stronger and more to make the guns work as they would in multiplayer, making it feel more like you've got a damage reduction bonus in the easier difficulties rather than the AI coming off as overpowered. The map selection is great, and I really appreciate being able to pick a map even if it's not available currently on multiplayer servers. I do, however, wish that you could use the maps that were not refurbished, like the old house and the old Hofford base, for example. That would be nice. So now that you all understand how it works, I'm going to get to my real point of making the video. It's the fact that the Training Grounds, which was formerly known as Terrorist Hunt, feels as if it was an afterthought to the developers, when I feel like it could be so much more. I've already mentioned how I wish you could select defending or attacking operators in Disarm the Bomb, but I feel the same way about other game modes. I don't think that that would fix the problem, however. I think that the most persistent problem is the way that some of the new operators' gadgets either don't work, are useless, or just simply are poorly implemented. For instance, Caveira, Jackal, Dokkaebi, Vigil, Mozzie, and maybe Warden. I, however, do give developers credit for making sure that Alibi's device actually gets targeted, and I think that Ina's hologram does as well. I haven't played her myself yet. I understand why all of these gadgets don't work, but I feel like they should be changed slightly for the co-op experience. I'll use Mozzie as an example, because he can't capture drones if the enemies are not sending them in, and it makes sense for the developers to not want to have to program AI drones to be sent in. So why not just give him a drone or two, so that he actually has something to do with his gadget, other than just stick it to the walls and slightly deal damage. But if I'm being honest, I don't actually know anymore if it does deal damage, since I'm not losing points when I'm shooting him. This isn't completely unprecedented, as Doc has 2 extra syringes equaling 5 for his total during training grounds as opposed to his normal 3, meaning that different operators can have different things during training grounds as opposed to the normal game. It would also give Mozzie something to do other than just look cool while reloading. The other problem I have with the co-op is that it's not really different from the multiplayer in any substantial way. The maps are the exact same, and the objectives might as well be, for all intents and purposes. The only difference I think I've found is that the locations for protecting the hostage are different sometimes, on different maps, especially in maps that have not been updated yet. I feel like this is a little bit of a missed opportunity, as the game would be a little bit better if they were to do these things. They could also have given us unique maps or extended versions of the maps. They could have also given us unique missions or unique mission objectives. Just something to make it feel a little bit less like multiplayer. I've already mentioned how I wish I could play the old versions of some of the reworked maps. I understand why they're not available in multiplayer. I, however, do feel like they should be available during training grounds and private lobbies, just to allow you and your friends to enjoy the old memories in the old maps. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Rainbow Six Siege multiplayer, and I understand that it was the primary focus, and I really think that they've done good things with it. But when they released Operation Chimera, I realized that this is the kind of thing that they could have been doing all along. And I understand that R6 Extraction is coming out, and I really do hope it's good, and I like zombie games. It's not that I don't. However, I just don't come to the Rainbow Six franchise looking for that kind of thing. I'd like to see some normal R6 missions, or a story in the world that they've built around the entire game. Now, I know that this all would cost a lot, and that it's really just a better business model to focus on multiplayer, but I just feel that more and more games are forcing you to have to play online if you want to enjoy the experience at all, when the most fun I've ever had was gaming with a bunch of friends against AI and not having to worry about the new meta, improving your Twitch responses, or whatever it is. And it just feels like more and more games are focusing on PvP, when I really wish that they would remember some of us who are looking for the casual experience and don't really want to feel that vain pulse in our forehead when we play.